So, it's been a while. You haven't seen me on here for a bit. I think we've been working through a little bit of a pandemic, and yeah, life kind of got in the way. Not in a bad way. We just had to focus on things like, well, my career in mortgage brokering, which is fantastic. It's been very busy, but at the same time, it hasn't let me do too much photography. So I wanted to bring back my photography channel, and the way I want to bring it back is to bring you videos about what I use. Now I know that YouTube has a lot of stuff on product reviews and various things that are comparisons of different pieces of technology, different pieces of equipment. Maybe even talking about new equipment. Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff that talks about new equipment. I'm just going to talk about what I use and why I chose it and where we're at. So yeah, so today I'm going to talk about my cameras. So what am I recording this on right now? It is the Sony, can you see here? A7 III. I'll hide behind it. A7 III. That's the camera body that I use. I use one that's on this video, it's taking the video, and I've got a second camera body. Typically I'll use one with a longer lens like this, and then I'll use one with a wider lens as what's happening there on the camera that's recording. Now, why did I choose this one? Okay, I'll get into this. This is really nuts and bolts. I love the idea of lightweight, portability, and efficiency. And prior to mirrorless, it was all DSLRs. So lots of mirror flippy things, a little bit more bulk and a little bit more size, and probably not as long a battery life, although it's gotten a lot better lately. So mirrorless for me started maybe about 10 years ago, and I adopted the Micro Four Thirds system. I was with the Olympus. And then a number of years ago when the Sony A7 III came out, I picked up this camera, and then I quickly picked up a second body because I realized that this thing is just compact, portable, has enough resolution, 24 megapixels, for pretty much anything that I need. People, landscapes, it pretty much covers the whole gamut. So it seemed to really work well for me. And lens selection. There is pretty much everything covered, from the very wide angle now with Sony having a 12 to 24, all the way out to Sony having a 200 to 600 millimeter lens. And that's just Sony. Now there's also a number of third-party lens makers that have almost the same coverage for their lenses as well. So lenses are covered. Battery life, I'm gonna say if you're shooting, you're probably gonna get, I mean, my results have been about 400 to 800 shots, sometimes over 1,000 shots per battery. So they last a long time. Most shooting scenarios, I barely will get under 50%. So 100 to 50 in a couple hours, and that seems amazing. So with two camera bodies, I take 4 batteries just in case, but I've rarely ever gone into them. I think if I go to shoot a wedding and I'm at a full day wedding, I'll tap into the second battery, but for most other occasions I don't. And compact size, like you can see this camera body, it's fairly small, fits into the hand fairly easily. Some might say it's a little bit too small for your hand. I find it okay. And it's pretty decent in terms of menus, although the menus do have quite a bit of depth to them. You have to take a bit of time to learn the depth of the menus, but it all seems great. It does have an electronic viewfinder, as most mirrorless cameras do. I find it adequate for the job. There may be a slight bit of lag between what you see here and what's actually happening, and by slight, I mean microseconds. It's really quite minimal. For fast shooting sports, you may notice it. For most everything else, I don't. The rear screen is plenty fine for being able to visualize things. Color representation seems good. So for me, seems like a pretty good camera body. You can also, of course, use this to make video, which I am. And so, yeah, in terms of a complete package, in terms of a camera that's a workhorse, this has been an absolute game changer for me. I'm going on 3+ years with these camera bodies, still love them. There is a new camera out now, the Sony a7 IV, a little bit higher resolution, a few other features, but am I gonna upgrade? I don't think so. I think there's enough features and benefits to this that I could easily give it a little bit more life. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being patient with me. And hopefully you found this interesting. If you want to learn more about the Sony mirrorless camera bodies, comment below and I'll do my best to respond and figure out what it is about the cameras that you want to see. Maybe we can do a particular deep dive into various features, like how do we set it up for landscapes, people. Oh, by the way, if we're shooting people, this tracks the eye really well. So if you're using this ecosystem, you'll actually find that focus is really good because it'll actually nail right onto the eye. So that's just a small thing. But if you want to learn about any one of those things, then let me know. Leave a comment and I'll keep making these videos. My goal is to keep talking about the gear that I use and why I use it. We'll see you guys next time.